If y'all know someone that needs the information, make sure you let them know. Go to bit.ly/King Ashley N, bit.ly/King Ashley N, bit.ly/King Ashley N. You can do anything. Now grab your pens, grab your papers, grab your tablets, grab your recording devices, whatever it is that you use to take notes. Content is officially about to begin. If you do not know me, my name is Ashley and I'm a public speaker. I'm an award-winning luxury event designer. Most importantly to y'all, I'm a biz builder. I broadcast typically Monday through Thursdays around 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tips and tricks to help you catch coins, pay the foes, and all the money you are missing. I'm the late night business king in these streets. Yep, I said king. King and a queen at the same dang time. Get into it, okay? Give a big shout out to the big G-O-D, that dude in the sky, because that's who gave me the gifts of business, beautification, and hospitality. I've been able to use those to make a crap load of money for myself. As a matter of fact, I started my business with $125 and a laptop, and God has allowed me to grow it into a multi-million-dollar company, which is Events by Ashley Ann. That is the very first company I ever opened. It is an event design and production firm, and it is still operational. Go and check us out whenever you got some time. Blink, blink, blink. Which led me to opening my second million-dollar company, which would be under AAE. So everything as far as business building, consulting, social media strategy, branding, product creation, return paths, ads training, all of that stuff sprung from the event company. That's how I learned I had the gift with social media, okay? I've been doing that for 9 years. And this brings me to my biggest accomplishment that I'm probably the most proud of, is that I've helped over 6,000 people make money with their social media pages. Over 6,000 people, and over 500 of my clients have created 6- and 7-figure incomes, and I currently have 19 clients right now. Blink, blink, blink. I got 19 of them, okay, in these streets that are making in between $55,000 and $150,000 every single month just from the gram. What? If you're in this broadcast, if I've helped you make some money, go ahead and drop the money bags, the dollar signs, the credit card emojis, all of that good stuff. Let them fly so the people know I ain't new to this, I'm true to this, okay? My clients in LinkedIn do in between $17,000 and $28,000 a month. My clients in Snapchat, they're doing about $5,000 a month. My clients in Periscope land, there are about 400 of you guys who do an average of $5,000 a month as well. I have over 80 rock stars in Periscope land that do in between $10,000 and $30,000 a month. Hey, hey, hey. Whenever it comes to Facebook land, I've helped about 2,000 of you guys monetize your Facebook accounts. You guys are doing this averaging $25,000 to $45,000, and my rock stars doing between $75,000 and $125,000. When it comes to Instagram land, hey y'all, hey, hashtag CA. I have about a couple thousand people who are doing about 5,000. The average is getting closer to 6,000 now, but we'll say 5,000 for now every month. There's a few hundred of you guys that are doing between $16,000 and $32,000 a month. And I have that big 19 that's doing $55,000 or more every single month. So we get money in the kingdom. And then on top of all of that, I help other live streamers. So this is where they're using Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Live.me, 17 Live, whatever. Don't matter. I've helped about 400 of them, averaging between $8,000 and $12,000 a month. So I'm not good at what I do. I'm not great at what I do. I am gifted at what I do. Blink, blink. Yes, I said gifted. Get into it, okay? I'm gifted at what I do, and I love everything about business and manifestation and helping people build up their dreams. So let's go ahead and get started because we got a lot to do, right, leading up to Wednesday. Today, we're going to be talking about basically why you want to use Instagram for your business. And I'm going to give you guys some information that I think you probably don't know. And then we're going to roll through some general rules. So some of you guys may want to do self-audits on your pages this weekend after we go through the rules, just so you can make sure that your page is prepped properly. Tomorrow, we'll probably try and roll through some common mistakes. Hopefully, we'll have time for some Q&A with that. And if some of you guys are making some mistakes, I may be able to help you through that as well. I think tomorrow I may just broadcast like on Instagram only because I may want to do screen share with everyone. And then from there, we're going to start rolling into trying to actually create a plan, right? Because I want you guys to be ready. I want you guys to be ready for Wednesday. Monday, we'll do some mindset stuff. I will have Hood Estates on. I'm really excited. We'll be on at lunchtime, so I'm gonna have some special guests with me on Monday. Monday may be a tour day though. We may come in with mindset, and then depending on where we're at on Sunday, we may need to come in and do some more content because, like I said, I really want y'all to be like able to implement as many things as possible after Wednesday's webinar, okay? Don't forget, you have to register. It's a free training, but you have to register. If you do not register, you can't come, okay? And when we run out of seats, they gone. So I haven't dropped any ads yet. I haven't sent anything anywhere out here in the social media stratosphere yet. So those of you who are here inside of the live or who have checked your emails already, you know what it is, okay? So go and secure your seats. Don't be out here dragging your feet. All right? So first thing first, I put up this post the other day, and a lot of you guys were shocked that the average American spends about 53 minutes a day on Instagram. But something else I did not put up is that also the average American using Instagram who is in between the ages of 19 and 35 admits to checking Instagram at least 3 times a day. And then out of that group, 70% of them admit to using Instagram when they're in the car driving. How many of y'all can believe that? I believe it. I see people all the time when I'm driving. I see people doing this all the time in the car, like at stoplights. Some of them even rolling. They're not even at stoplights. They're not in traffic. I see people driving down the road like this all the time. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. So, right, good demo except the driving. But it happens. Like this is real life. So I always tell y'all the number one rule of marketing is to be where your customers are, get in front of them, and a lot of them are on the gram. Now, don't get it twisted. There are 92% of millennials, baby boomers, in Generation Y, okay, who have Facebook accounts. So they have the accounts, but the daily usage isn't the same. 51% of millennials admit to using Instagram every day. Blink, blink, blink. And if you guys notice when you're on Facebook and if you're looking at the users, the demographic on Facebook has become older, right? So on Facebook, you have a lot of people who are actual boomers. So they're 50, 55, 60, 65 using Facebook. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But depending on who you're trying to reach and your content and your customer base, this is going to have a big, this is going to have a big shift for some of you guys and what platforms you've been putting your energy into. So like, for instance, if I'm doing my videos on Facebook, my analytics track, and it'll say this video performed really well with women who are in between the ages of 48 and 58 who live, on the West Coast. Like, it really tells me that as the video is working. My age, the average age of my viewer on Facebook is always older than the average age of my viewer on Periscope or in Instagram whenever they're watching the lives. So, and I know some of y'all are like, why does this matter? Well, it matters because depending on what type of product or services you have, it's going to have a huge impact on what platform you need to be spending your money on and what platform you need to be spending your time on as far as creating content, okay? And it's not, and it may not be like that for all of y'all. Like, some of y'all may have a pretty young base on Facebook and they just really like using Facebook. So some of y'all's analytics, when you're doing like videos or live streams, or if you boost a post or something, it may say this post is performing really well, with people that are in between the ages of 28 and 32. I think it just depends on your audience base. But for me, that's how my analytics show up, okay? And so I thought that was really, really interesting. And some of you guys have products and services that are designed for people in specific age groups. And so some of y'all probably just realize you've been spending a lot of time on the wrong platforms, okay? Now, what's really unique about Instagram, which I love it, on Instagram, someone is 4 times more likely to engage with you than they are on Facebook, specifically for companies and brands. So for businesses, brands, and companies, an Instagram user is 4 times more likely to follow you, comment, share your content, or like your posts compared to Facebook. Blink, blink, blink. So now it becomes, not only is it a numbers game, it may be the pool of people. For some of y'all may say, well, my pool of people is smaller here on the gram, but I'm going to be seen more often and I'm really going to be able to develop a relationship. And this may become a more lucrative source for leads and sales and those sorts of types of things with me, okay? When we come to Generation X and Gen X, those are the youngins. In case you guys are wondering, there's Gen X and there's Gen Y. Okay, millennials are in the middle; they're in between. So when we talk about Gen X, Gen Y, and millennials, you're pretty much talking about anyone from an infant all the way up to, I believe it's 49. Okay, that's who we're covering. When they get into baby boomers and boomers, those are going to start becoming your people that are 50 and older. So if we're looking at, that's a huge demo. Yes, it is. It is, it is, it is. If you like get into an app like Snapchat, it's pretty much dominated by people 17 and under. You have people in their late 20s and like early 30s on there, and it's the user rate for someone like over 40 is almost non-existent on Snapchat. Like it's there, like, but the percentages are really, really low, like under 5% low, like they're really low. So just to kind of, yeah, just to try and put stuff into perspective for you. Okay, now what is surprising about people, what surprises people on Instagram is that Instagram users typically have a higher income than Facebook users. Blink, blink, blink. Okay, a higher disposable income. Now, the social media app that has the highest income rate for users is LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is built for business. So you get a lot of COOs, CFOs, a lot of owners, a lot of owner operators. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of LinkedIn is a different market. But if we're going between like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, disposable income, Instagram has the highest rate. Because think about it, because a lot of the people in Instagram land are in their prime earning years. You have a lot of millennials on this platform. So if someone tells you that, there's not any money to be made on the gram, you can tell them to scram. I don't know why people believe that. I don't know who started that vicious rumor, but people believe it. And it's just not true. 49% of millennials and Generation X people already say they follow brands and companies on Instagram. 75% of millennials, 78% of millennials will actually go and search for a brand, a company, or a product on Instagram before they go to the company's website. So before somebody finds your website, before someone is hitting Bing or the Yellow Pages, before someone is on Yelp, they are going and they're looking. This is why, and we'll talk about the importance of hashtags, but this is why hashtags actually work. So they may be looking for a photographer in Atlanta, and I'm guilty. I do it all the time. I'm looking for a photographer in Charlotte because I want to schedule a photo shoot while I'm there. And I literally popped on Instagram and I was like, hashtag Charlotte photography, hashtag photographers in Charlotte, hashtag photos in Charlotte. Like I literally put it in there so I could start searching and seeing and finding photographers that I could contact if I like their work so I could schedule a shoot with them. So a lot of people will go to Instagram. They'll even go to Facebook. You find your hair braider on the gram. Yes, a lot of people find me for wedding planning, like from the gram. It is a real live situation, okay? You say you do you do that when you want your hair braided. It's not just you. People do it for everything. Restaurants, yogurt shops, like they are out there looking to figure out where they want to go or where they want to spend their money, who they want to pursue, who they want to do business with in real life. So that right there is going on. So I just kind of want to put that all in perspective for you guys so you understand what a powerful tool it is. And what's crazy, it's a really easy tool. You know what I'm saying? It's accessible to pretty much everyone. A lot of you guys just haven't really put together a plan on how to use it for your business. So that's our goal, is this week to get you prepped for that. So that way Wednesday, when I drop that hot sauce in the training, y'all gonna be like, oh snip, this is the bomb.com, and I know what to do with the stuff that she's telling me. So first thing we want to do when we get into general rules for trying to do business on Instagram, I need like 95% of y'all in here to go and take a look at your bio. Most of our bios are centered. Okay, most of our bios are like me focused instead of you focused, right? Which is how you add value to the consumer, how you add value to a customer, what type of content they can expect from you, what is it that you can do for someone else instead of what is it that someone can do for you. That's what we're looking at. And we're trying to switch over our bios to communicate how exactly we affect the world, or what is it that people can expect from us if they're going to connect and follow with us. So you took your advice and did away with my website and started using landing pages because technically you can index them on the web. You sure can. It's all hot sauce, right? So that's the first thing. So, hey, Janine. Hey, girl. Hey, what's going on? So, a lot of times, what I see when I go and look at people's bio, they're just talking about basically how great they are. They would be like, my name is Ashley Ann, and I'm a millionaire, and I run 5 companies, and I like to Macarena and do the Tootsie Roll. Or they'll say things like, they'll have like some quote on their page. That's cool if you're just a social user for Instagram, but if you're trying to build Instagram for a business, you may want to do a little bit more than that. You may not want to say Ashley Ann, let's see, get on the train or get run over. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll see stuff like that on people's pages, and then they're like, I don't know why I'm not making sales. Well, first of all, because when someone comes to your page, they really don't have a clear understanding of what you do and how it's going to be beneficial to them. Y'all, please understand, people care about how you can help them. People, hey Jay Boogie, thank you for that super heart. People like get people requesting things from them all the time. Very rarely do they have someone who comes to them and says, how can I help you? How can I assist you? What can I do to make your life easier? What can I do to help you reach that goal? Is there anything I can do, right, to help you get closer to where you'd like to be? And essentially, that's what you want to use your bio to do. When you go into the mode of like, I'm amazing, I'm awesome, I'm great, I'm talented, I'm fantastic, then the customer or that person who's viewing, they don't really have the opportunity or the desire to connect with you, because at the end of the day, they don't care about how great you are. People don't like it when I say that. Your mama cares, but they don't care. Now, eventually, over time, as they get to know you and you start to showcase yourself as a resource, then they are going to have a respect and a fondness, you know what I'm saying, for how great you are or how knowledgeable you are or how you're able to create or curate the content that you're putting out that they're able to consume. But that's a process. When people pop into my DMs or stuff, or y'all come on the lives and y'all tell me stuff like, oh, I'm so happy I started following you. Or people come in and they say, man, I've learned more coming to 2 of your live streams than I did in a whole 8-week course I spent $10,000 on with somebody else. Like, that is amazing to me. But again, if you notice, it's coming over time. My content is what's helping me establish that I'm bomb.com. I don't have to tell you that I'm fly. I don't have to tell you that I'm amazing. If you come and you stick around, if you interact, if you pay attention to the content I'm posting, if you pay attention to the lives, if you pay attention to those things, you'll start to develop that opinion on your own. And so you want your audience members to come to the conclusion that you're awesome sauce, or that they want to spend time with you, they want to talk to you, they want to listen to you, they want to have some type of interaction and engagement with you. And I think a lot of times small business owners don't understand that concept. It goes completely over our heads, and people just start posting like really salesy stuff all the time. And what you're doing is you're asking people for things, right? You're like basically going up to someone who doesn't know you and you're asking them for money. I had a woman, she popped inside of my inbox. This was maybe last week or the week before last, but she jumped in my inbox, and she sells Herbalife now. Me and this lady haven't spoken in years. Like, we literally have not spoken in years. And she's like, hey, like, I think it's great that you're getting back fit and that you're working with Paul. He's an amazing trainer, blah, 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 blah. Nutrition is an important part of fitness. I would love to have a few minutes to talk to you about the benefits of Herbalife. Excuse me, ma'am. I haven't spoken to you in years. Why are you in here trying to sell me something? Not a how are you? What's been going on, right? Not not giving me an opportunity to go to her page and check up and see what's been going on in her life or what she's been doing or what type of amazing results she's gotten from it. None of that, like immediately trying to sell. So I want y'all to think about that. If you're out here in these social media streets, and if someone, right, finds your page because they may not have it in it. A lot of times people are going to find your page before they talk to you. Remember, I just told y'all 78% of millennials are actually going on social media and looking for companies and businesses and brands before they even go to the website, before they call you on the phone, trying to see what you're about, right? So if the only thing they see on your page is sales, 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 sale, right? Which is you, give me something, 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 but you haven't extended anything to them. Is there someone that you really want to keep hanging out with? Is there someone you really want to follow and see what they have going on? Is that right? Is that something that you really, really, really are trying to be a part of? Probably not. And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying don't make offers and sales, because we have to make offers and sales. I believe in making offers and sales every single day. So if you're posting 3 or 4 pieces of content a day, right? And then you put up an offer for a sale, well, no one cares. Especially if you wrap it into some other type of content, or if you wrap it into, like, maybe you're answering a question, or you're showcasing your work, or reminding people how awesome you are at what it is you do. Well, then at that point, no one even realizes that they've been sold to, because it's more informative and it's actually sparking a desire for them to want to come and consume your products or your services. Does that make sense? Blink, blink, blink. So first concept is we need to look at our bio, and we need to look and see if we're doing a good job of communicating to the social media streets how we add value to someone's life. So basically they want to stay connected to us. They want to hang out with us. Is it about interpersonal first? I'm not going to necessarily say it's so much about interpersonal first. I just think it's understanding the balance, because this is social media. So part of the thing is you need to socialize. Does that make sense? And there's a way, if you sell through, which brings me to my next one, my second general rule: service sales. Service sales, service sales, service sales. So if you focus on serving people, if you focus on becoming a resource, if you focus on trying to answer questions and help people with problems or get to a desired state, you will find that you will make a ridiculous amount of sales. Like, people will literally start to pop inside of your DMs. People will show up in your comments. People will come into your lives. Y'all see it happening here all the time. People come in and y'all say, oh, do you have a product about this? Do you have a product that covers that? I need help with XYZ. Do you have a product or a course that can help me with that, right? People come to me and ask to buy things from me. I don't go out, okay? I'm not going out like, hey, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Do I make offers on my page? Yes. But at the end of the day, because I'm so focused on serving and answering questions and helping people get to desired states and overcome problems or different challenges, or maybe just being a listening ear, it creates, right? It's really helped me to establish myself as a resource in the marketplace. And so people come to me, saying, do you have a product, or do you have a service? Do you have a program? Is there an event coming up that does XYZ? I did the same thing with my event design and production company. I focused on what I could do to help people: etiquette, invitation wording tips, showing different proposals, showing people how they can, like, make their wedding really stand out, giving tips on first dances. Like, I just worked on being a resource. Any type of questions I knew that a girl may have about a wedding, or that I knew a woman may have about a baby shower or something like that, I do my best to try and put that information out there and answer those questions for them. And I did that on Facebook for years, and then I would sprinkle in pieces of my work, and it led me to being able to, like, create a huge company, right, with a huge payoff. Let's see. I'm just starting my brand and business. I'm trying to figure out how to add content to my brand on Instagram without having pictures of my products, haven't purchased yet, and not making the post about me personally. how do the products affect people's lives? What are they doing with the products? What's the end result they want? If you focus on the desire or the end result and how it affects someone's life, and things they may want to know about the product or the process or the end result when they're using the product, that is how that works. That's how you get to the point to where you're able to come up with content and position yourself as a resource. Like, focus on the client, okay? Focus on the client. That's how that works. Next thing, y'all know, content is cash, content is cash, content is cash, content is cash. So at the end of the day, we need to be, first of all, consistent with our content. Please keep this in mind, y'all. Consistency is more than the frequency than you post. I think a lot of times when people think about consistent, that's all they think about is like, oh, well, I posted 8 times today, and I posted 8 times yesterday, and I posted 8 times the day before that. So I'm like super consistent, but it's still not working. I'm not getting sales. I'm not getting leads. So first of all, we need to be consistent with the type of content. That's the first thing. I like the 80-20 rule. It helps me in a lot of different areas in my life, and it definitely will help for sure with your Instagram pages and posting on your social media. So normally what I do, and y'all will learn this more in the plan, is I come up with content banks, okay? So content banks are just basically, like topics that I want to cover on my page. So I have topics and then I have banks. So when I go to topics, I always ask myself, like, how do I want people to feel on my page? So for me, the answer would be, I like people to feel empowered. I like them to feel inspired, and I like them to feel motivated. Okay. I also like people to feel like, um, almost kind of like relieved. You know what I'm saying? Like, to feel like this is not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Um, so I think, so ask yourself how you want people to feel on your page. So like, if you have a clothing store or a boutique, if I were you, I would want people to feel like they're a bad chick, or I'm a bad man, right? I would want them to, like, their self-esteem to feel high, like when they're engaging with me or interacting with me. I may want them to feel beautiful. I may want them to feel heard. So I know some of y'all are like, what? I'm telling you, whatever it is, like, think about the type of feeling you want someone to have. If you're a comedian, you just may want people to feel happy or joy or to laugh or to spend, the next 30 seconds watching your video. It makes them forget about their problem. All of us are going to have like different things we want people to feel when they come and interact with us. So that's going to help me figure out my topics. So because I know I want people to feel empowered and motivated and encouraged, and, I want people to stay on track and, have some accountability and stuff. So on my topics, I already knew I was going to do motivational stuff. I already knew I would do inspirational things, right? On top of me doing like my facts and opinions and selling and stuff like that. The next thing you need to ask yourself is, what do you want people to do? Like, what actions do you want them to take on your page? Do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to buy something from you? Do you want them to tag another person? Right? Do you want them to ask you questions? Right? Like, what do you want people to do? Do you want them to share your content with other people? Because again, this is going to direct and dictate what type of content you're putting on your page, and it also is going to give you some directions into your call to actions. Okay. And then the third thing that I like to ask whenever I'm trying to think about the topics is, well, it's actually, we're gonna do 2 more questions because I feel like it's gonna be too convoluted if I try and put it into one. So we are going to ask, how are people using our products or services? Okay. Or what benefit can they get from our product or service? And then the next question I'm going to ask is, what product or service do I offer to the marketplace? Because some of you guys have several products or services, or you have like lines of things, right? So again, that's going to help me with my content. So now I know I'm posting videos about my products and services, how to use them, why they can use them, maybe tricks or tips, how to extend the usage of it, how to repair the usage of it. I'm thinking about everything that I can around that product or service, right? Then the next thing, when I think about how people are using them or what's the desired result, right? So I'm thinking about all of the challenges, all of the pain points, all the different types of questions that people have. and I am going to use that to my benefit to create content around it that is highly valuable, and at the same time it's going to lead me to making more sales. Yes, this is confirmation for me. I'm a distributor. It works, and I'm getting into making my herbs as well. Okay. I've been doing more Q&As and sharing the journey and establishing these relationships. Yep, it works. So does that make sense? So you just come up with your overall topics. So some of y'all may have like 5 or 6 different topics that you want to share, like 5 or 6 different things you like to share on your page. I know with like celebrity, because I know people just love celebrities. But y'all, if y'all have ever noticed, I don't really share celebrity gossip on my page at all. Most of the time, if I'm talking about a celebrity, I'm talking about them in a business venture. I'm talking about some new type of contract that they've gotten. I'm talking about them and their philanthropic work. You know, this person just gave $1 million or created a venture capital firm, or, you know, they're the first woman to do XYZ, or meet this woman. She made $1 billion this year doing XYZ, right? I think more along those lines, because it's interesting, because my page is about business. My page is about getting money. My page is about financial stability, things like that. So if you scroll down my page, most of the time when you see me mention a big company or a celebrity, it has something to do with business. It may be talking about like the branding or their marketing or something like that, but very rarely, like I'm not gonna say never, but I don't think I really don't. Like, I'd have to scroll all the way back and see. But I don't think I've ever posted anything like about, you know, a celebrity breakup, or such and such was called to whoever, you know, the police were called to someone's house that night, or this person was drunk in front of the club. I don't post things like that, because for me, that's not my mindset, and that's not where I want my audience's mindset to be. I want them to be focused on knowing about different opportunities and things that are around them. So once you figure out your topics, right? So for me, it'd be like celebrity business stuff, regular updates to social media, like new apps, tools, pages, how they can use them, stuff like that. Any type, I like to answer questions that people give to me, and turn those into pieces of content as well. Of course, I'm going to post about my products and services, and I'm going to talk about like benefits. And then I like to also put up quotes. And there's a fair amount of people in my audience who are Christian believers as well. So anytime I can find some type of scripture that's relevant to business and cash and flow and increase and stewardship and stuff like that, but that kind of falls under motivational and inspirational, right? So that's how my little page works. And for the most part, if content does not fit inside of one of those, that would be like my 80%, right? Anything that's related to business, I'm not posting it. Now, on the 20% is where you have the opportunity to showcase your personal side. And so that may be when I do, you know, like, well, shoot, even my beauty tutorials are around, you know, business makeup. But the 20% may be like whenever I stream and I'm at my nephew's baseball game. Me having a house party, right? Christmas party, and us singing karaoke and stuff like that. Me putting up a selfie because I'm going out and I look cute tonight, and, you know, headed to the concert. So me maybe putting up some type of meme about a television show or something that all of us like to watch. When I live stream and we all watched the New Edition story like together, right? And all of us watched it when it was on TV One, and I turned my little camera towards the TV so they could see, right? That's not related to business at all. That is just more like personality, relationship building stuff. This is what I do and what I'm into. Does that make sense? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So figure out what topics, like if you go through those questions, it'll help you figure out what topics you want on your page. And then from that, you start building your banks, which is getting like a lot of quotes and pictures and images and creating videos and finding videos and stuff like that, so that you can get that where you want it to be. So I serve residential homeowners, but now selling a course for individuals to service homeowners. Can I use the same page to push the brand, info, sales, etc.? I mean, if you already have an audience there, you can, but I don't know. I don't know enough about your audience yet, and I don't know enough about your content and how long you've been doing it and what people expect from you. Sometimes you can, sometimes you cannot. That's just the reality of the situation. Like I have enough coaches that follow me and stuff, so I can put out a product like how to build your course or how to build up your coaching clientele, and I get people inside of there because they're already there, right? Does that make sense? But if I wanted to start a page and I wanted to market, if I wanted to start doing food reviews of different restaurants as I traveled, I would probably need to turn that into a different page. I probably could use one of the pages that people already follow as a backup and say, hey, if you care about food or food reviews, follow my new page over here. But I don't know if I would necessarily be trying to push the food review stuff on the King Ashley Ann page, if that makes sense. So it just kind of depends on how closely related they are and if the audience is already there and if you can make a transition so that you can position it so that it makes sense to people that you're moving in that direction. Is that for all your pages, even personal? Yeah, I make money on my personal pages all day long. On my personal page, though, it's flipped. On my personal page, it's 80 on the personal side, 20% on generating business and leads. Does that make sense? So like on the business page, it's 80-20, 80 business, 20%, showing some insight inside of your life. If you're monetizing your personal page, it's going to be 80% personal stuff. And then, a few times a week, you're going to slide in, like, I love referrals, or I'm working on this project, because you and what you do for a living in your business is a part of you as a person in real life. Like, that's a part. Okay. So anyways, yes. Next, as far as consistency, you need to be consistent, right? We talked about the frequency. We're talking about the type of content that's on the page. You also need to be consistent in how, like, your content looks. So you need to figure out, like, I'm not saying that you have to go like for a full-blown color scheme. I'm not really into like super highly styled pages. Like, yes, they're beautiful, but almost every really, really beautiful page that I see on Instagram, their following is trash. Their sales are trash. Their reach is trash. Their engagement is trash. Like, people aren't really into it. And I feel like that's for two reasons. I think reason number one is because when something is highly stylized like that, I think people almost automatically feel like you're trying to sell them something or you're not authentic. And when you're connecting with people in the social media world, people don't really want to connect with someone or something that they feel like is inauthentic. I think the second issue that you have when you do that is you put so much work into the styling and the imagery of the page that you're not putting enough work into the value and connecting with people. I think, it's a combination of both of those things. Do I think that your page should be, a little bit better than average? Yes. Do I feel like you should put some work and some effort and, maybe edit some things and come up with cool graphics? Absolutely, positively. But do I feel like your page needs to, y'all know what I'm talking about when I talk about the highly, highly stylized pages. Do I feel like it needs to look like an editorial shoot or a photo shoot from America's Next Top Model every time you post something? No. I've seen people, they're only posting content once or twice a month because they're trying so hard to stick to that color scheme, right? So when I talk about being consistent with like the styling of the page, I'm thinking more of like about the fonts, the way that you present information, like if you're using a 4x5 or a 1x1, stuff like that, right? Those sorts of types of things. I can't get people off the interested bench. I'm not sure what that means, but does that make sense? They think they need to have a beautiful page to sell. I mean, hey, Latoya, hey, girl, hey. You don't want the page to just look like trash and confusion and, bipolar and confused. That's not what you want your page to look like. You want it to have some type of cohesiveness. But I just want y'all to understand, like, it doesn't have to be like, every photo has to be from a professional photographer. Everything has to be like super duper, stylish and staged. Everything doesn't have to be always really polished. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, but if we can start getting consistent with like the fonts, if we can get consistent with the sizing of the images we're using, if we can get consistent with like how we present headlines and stuff like that, then I think that leads to more conversions because it's easier for people to see what you're doing. But do I think you need to be out here, dropping $300 or $500 every week on a photo shoot so you can have super amazing professional selfies to go on your timeline? No. Are there people that do it? Yeah, but most people don't. And then a lot of the Instagram models and stuff like that, a lot of them take pictures themselves and they edit themselves. You know, they do stuff with photographers, but a lot of them, it's them, you know, setting their timers and using their Bluetooth clickers to take these images and get them the way that they need to be. Yeah, the super professional selfies. And I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with them from time to time, but when that's all people see, a lot of times people turn away from that. Like they really are not into it. Like you want to look like you made some effort. You want it to show that you put some thought into it, but does it have to be unrelatable? No. How do you find out what people want besides just asking them? I'm in adult entertainment, and a lot of people seem interested and will engage. You pay attention. Like you go look at your insights and you see what type of content people are engaging with and responding the most to. You also can look and see when people consume your lead magnets, how many of them follow up and come back, or how many of them purchase a product. That's people telling you what they want right then and there. Also, speaking of that brings me to my last piece under be consistent. We need to be consistent with communicating to our audiences. And when I say be consistent with communicating to your audiences, I mean literally like use your ask me anything functions, use your poll functions. Tell people to drop comments or emojis below. Invite people to slide into your DMs. A lot of the sales that go down on Instagram, y'all, come through the DMs. Now, this is not unique to Instagram. This is unique to business. This is just business in general. It's not unique to any specific platform. This is whether it's in physical life, okay, offline or online. Does not matter. At the end of the day, people want to know how your product, your service, your book, your podcast, your consulting, whatever it is, they want to know how it benefits them specifically. They want to know how it benefits them specifically. So whenever someone can ask you a question in the comments, or they can slide in your DMs, or they can type back to you in the little ask me anything, and you can give them a specific application for them, it increases the propensity for them to buy. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So if I can't get you to understand how one of my courses or classes is beneficial to you, right? How it's going to help you improve your business or your life or your finances or save time, you're not going to take that course or class with me. If I get on here and I start teaching Facebook ads, but I didn't take any time to explain how Facebook ads is beneficial and how it's going to help you build your list and make more money and drive more traffic and all that, right? If I don't get on here and I don't explain that to you, then whenever I say, hey, I got this Facebook ads class, come and register for it, are you going to buy the class? No, because you don't see how it applies to your life. So at the end of the day, creating like open lines of communication. And I see a lot of people who run businesses on Facebook, y'all have not created open lines of communication. Y'all are like super closed off. So like there are a few, like if it's like an entertainment page or something like that, you can get away with a private page, but most small business owners, when y'all have private pages, that works against you. It doesn't help you. Like it depends on the type. If you're doing like a gossip site or like a super, like if you have a lot of adult content, or if you're doing an entertainment site or something like that, then because people want the tea, they want the juice, they want the information, they probably will go ahead and follow you. But if you're like me, like I'm a business builder, a lot of people would not follow me if my page was private. They would feel some type of way about it. A lot of people would be like, why her page private? What's she hiding? What she got going on over there? A lot of people, like in real life, a lot of people would, a lot of y'all are losing sales because you have a bakery or a cupcake shop, but your page is on private. Don't nobody want to see your cupcakes that bad unless they looking at your cupcakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they not trying to see your cupcakes and cookies to that extent. They don't care like that. You said private business pages make me skeptical. I'm glad that you're saying that. They make a lot of people skeptical. So again, it's about creating like some type of open dialogue. So if you ask questions, if you invite people, like you literally can put up a post and say, if you have questions about this, or if you want to know some more, DM me. I'll give y'all a real life example. So one day I was on and I was putting up some stuff about vaccinations and autism. And I'm actually pretty knowledgeable about the subject because my nephew has autism. And so this is something, for like about 10 years now, we've been gathering information and learning things and trying things and everything. And so anyways, there were some people who had very, very, very strong opinions against what I had to say, but I stood firm in whatever it was. But this is the thing. There were so many parents, like it was over 100 parents that dropped inside of my DM after this post to ask me questions about what I knew and vaccinations and different different results and tests and studies and who should they talk to. They were so afraid to ask in public because they did not want the court of public opinion falling on them, but they turned around and came right into my DM and asked me for all the information that they could get from me. And I was happy to give it to them. And I just want y'all to understand, like, there are some people who are really private. Is there anything to be ashamed of? No. Are they doing anything wrong? No. But sometimes people just don't want to hear other people. They don't want to hear other people's opinion. They don't want to hear other people's mouths. They don't want other people to know what they're thinking or what they're inquiring about or what they have thoughts about. And so they would rather have private discussions with you. And so a lot of you guys, especially that are coaches and consultants, and those of you that deal with like people's credit and finances, those of you that deal with people emotional state, their marriages, relationships, stuff like that. It's those of you who are lawyers that deal with legal things and business ideas and intellectual property. It's super important that y'all create open dialogue, and so that people in your audience know it's okay to send you a DM. It's okay to respond to this question. It's like they really, really, really need to feel comfortable to do that, because a lot of them you can come in and then you can speak to them one-on-one and then move them to the proper product or service, or refer them to whoever they need to speak to. And a lot of y'all are missing sales just because people don't feel like they can DM you. Y'all know I get DMs all the time. Some of y'all are always surprised that I respond to you, but I do. It may take me a while, but I'm going to respond to you. And so unless it's just foolishness, I'm going to just ignore you. But for the most part, I get in there and I will respond and I will answer questions and stuff. And a lot of people, they won't ask. They won't ask here in the lives. They won't ask in the comments. But after the broadcast, they'll be all in my inbox asking me all sorts of types of things. So you really need to you really, really, really need to create like the open dialogue, and that's going to help y'all start making more sales. And so the only way to do that, you consistently have to be telling people, drop a comment, send me a DM, putting up the little questions inside of your stories and stuff so that people know they can talk to you in real life. I had to express to people that I'm not an MLM company before they would DM me. Yep. You have to a lot. So for sure. So has this information helped any of you guys today? Has this helped? I think this is a good stopping point for today. I don't want to overwhelm your brain too much, but this is just more about kind of getting the overall concepts and some things that you guys can start putting into action right now to start the process of building up like a buying base and getting people comfortable with being able to shop with you, purchase with you, ask questions, refer you, share your content, those sorts of types of things. Good. All right. So anyway, talk to you guys later. Everybody have a fabulous day. Don't forget, if you want a text notification, text King to 313131. And I'll see y'all sometime tomorrow, okay? Boom. There we go. Like what we teach works. All right, I love you guys. Have a fabulous day. Stay safe, stay clean. Wear your mask when you go outside. Wash your hands when you come back in, all right?